All right. What's going on, everyone? Welcome, welcome. Everything looks good. We are live. Happy Monday. Welcome to the Unconventional Mindset. My name is Odum, and we're starting a little bit earlier today than we normally do, at least on our stream. And that's because there's a few other things going on, which I guess we'll talk to in just a second here. But yeah, I'll just say welcome. This is a daily live stream every Monday through Friday where we get together and we do work and we try to figure out how we're going to build a company worth that's going to generate us $1 million in revenue every single, I was going to say day, but every single year is good. Start with that, then every day, maybe we'll get to there at some point. So yeah, it's fun. We're trying to figure this out. And what we're doing is we're building a Webflow component and template library. And we're going to get to that in just a second. The past couple of weeks, we've been designing stuff in Figma, which I should actually open up here, which I don't think it's open. And yeah, we want to transfer those into our pixel pieces, into our component library. We want to make them actual Webflow components, not just designs. So we're going to get to that in just a minute. But a couple things that have happened over the past, even just the past couple days, I guess. So really busy here over at Pixel. So I guess I could back up a little bit and say that initially, the first business that I started back in September of 2022 was Pixel Media Corporation, which is a creative services business or agency which specializes in building websites for my clients. And I also have done graphic design and I've done audiovisual production and editing, and then also real-time live AV production kind of in person. So I've done kind of a whole range of kind of just creative services stuff, but we're just trying to kind of figure out exactly how we're going to narrow down the niche in Pixel. But the point being is that I've been doing that, and then I've been trying to focus on, like, I haven't been trying to get any clients at all for that, just dealing with my existing clients, because I've been trying to have enough time to focus on building Pixel Pieces, which is going to be this product that hopefully is going to help us generate, kind of that recurring revenue and not being reliant on always having to get clients all the time, right? Because if we can create a product and have people sign up on a daily basis or whatever the case may be, that brings in that recurring revenue once we do the work once, in a sense. And then, that's kind of it. Of course, we'll be doing the work all day, every day to make the product better and better and better. But the point is you create something like a book, you write a book, you sell it once, away you go, right? So that's the idea behind that. And what I've been talking about for the past couple weeks now is, that next Monday, 7 days from today, I wanted to launch Pixel Pieces and have kind of like a grand opening kind of thing. And I still want to do that, but I'm not sure it's going to be able to happen because I've had a couple kind of projects coming through the door, and that unfortunately takes a lot of time. And it's tough to say no to certain things because number one, I guess the money is pretty good. It's like pretty decent money. And I just want to kind of help out some friends and help out some people as well too. So basically I have two calls that I have to get on. Number one of them is about a project that I'm pretty sure has been approved, but I never celebrate or count anything as going until the actual money hits the bank. And I don't do any work until money hits the bank, typically. But so I do have one project that is hopefully going to be kicking off today, and it should be a relatively short project. We should be able to get it done within a month, I would say, but it's going to take up a little bit of time to do. So there's that contract that is, again, hopefully going to get worked out today. And then tomorrow I also have a call where I got contacted basically out of the blue from somebody that wants one, maybe even two websites. So I have a call with this person tomorrow. So we're going to see how that goes, but that could potentially be two more websites. And and we're talking probably, at least a 5-figure contract with that. So if it's two websites for sure. So that's, kind of on the plate. So if that's the case, then it's going to be really difficult for me to get stuff done for Pixel Pieces. But I'm going to try my hardest to get this thing done, because this is kind of one of the things that I've been worrying about, and I've been trying to hustle to get this thing done, is that if client stuff starts coming in, it kind of puts this a little bit to the back burner. And I don't want to do that because I want to get this thing out the door as soon as I can. So maybe I just won't sleep this week. I don't know. We'll see what happens. And I do have the luxury of being in a position where if a project comes onto my plate that I don't particularly find interesting, or that I don't think it serves my interests or my needs, I could just say no. So I don't have to say yes. So we'll kind of see how things shake down. So anyways, just want to let you guys know about that. But it's I feel fortunate enough that I'm at the position where people are contacting me for work, which is really, really nice, as opposed to me having to go out there and try to find work, which is always a good position you need to be in. And I'll say, if you're one of those, if you're trying to figure out, how to get an agency going and you want clients and all that kind of stuff, the number one thing I think I would say to that is keep doing good work, keep making good connections with people, and yeah, just build good relationships with people, because they'll start talking to other people about the work that you've done, and then things will kind of start happening, coming your way. It's like the overnight success, but it took 15 years to get there, kind of thing, right? So, and I'm by no means anywhere close to being an overnight success at all either. So, anyways, so I have about an hour to spend with you guys today, and we're going to get right into building out this new navigation. Okay, so enough chatting, enough jibber jabs. So I guess basically let's take a quick look here. Just a very, very quick summary. Components. I'm logged in here. We got navigation. So we have these 4 or 5 navigations right now in pixel pieces, and there's this basic navigation. When I say basic, it just means that it's using the custom Webflow navigation element. And if we go back here, we have custom, and this here is using basically kind of like div tags, I guess you can say. And what we want to do here is, if we go into our wireframe here, and we go into, where are we going into? We're going into navigation. Richard, welcome. Good morning. Good morning. Having a slow start to the year here in the UK. 2 of my large projects extended into the new year, so I'm currently catching up to fill my schedule. Is it good to see you? Yeah, good to see you too. So slow start, do you mean in the sense that the projects have been extended? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Is it something where you wanted to have those projects out the door and done so you can focus on other things? Or is it more of an extension where the client wants additional functionality or whatever, so they're cutting you another check, and then it's like, okay, well, might as well just kind of work on that. So there's always kind of 2 ways to think about extensions, whether it's good or bad. But sometimes it's nice to be just done with a project and you can move on to other things. Okay, so what we're doing, what we want to build here is this menu here, where the logo's in the middle, and then this menu here where the logo's on the left, but the navigation here is smack in the middle. So in Webflow, this is the component right here, which is the custom navigation, but it has the logo on the left and everything on the right. Now, we need to change this so the logo swaps sides, but unfortunately, the way that this one was designed or developed, it's a little bit different, because we can't just take the logo and slap it into the middle, because the logo's, I don't know. I don't know if I should get into it too much here. Hang on. Always try to wrap up a project before the new year and spend the last half of the year to look for new clients. But I'm now doing that. Yeah. So, yeah, it's one of those things too where you almost have to put in a little bit of time to do the outreach and do the cold calling or whatever to try to get new clients. And then that could take a little time to get going as well too. So you almost have to, a month or 2 before you're even done with one client, to go out there and start promoting to try to get to that next client. Until you get to the point where you're just so big and so known that people are just kind of always coming to you, and then you're always having to turn down work, which is always really nice. So this navigation, basically the way that the elements were built, I can't just easily cut them out and then make this thing work because of the way the menus is shown and hidden based on the size of the screen and whether you toggle on or off the mobile thing, the mobile hamburger thing. So basically, I'm kind of almost redoing it here in this one. So the way that I'm starting to work on this navigation is I basically have the overall wrapper here, and then we have this container. Hopefully you guys can see that. I mean, I'll try to zoom in a little bit more. It's tough because then I can't see what I'm doing here. Okay, let's make that. Okay, so we have this nav custom to container, and it has 3 elements: the menu, the logo, and then the portal, which is your sign in, your login, or whatever buttons. And basically my thought is I put this thing in a grid, and the logo here is in the middle, which is in a grid that has a specifically designed size. And here I just put 5 rem. So a user that's using this is going to have to manually change the size to whatever makes the most sense for their logo. And then you have this logo in here. Again, this is an SVG logo, but I imagine what we can do here is you could just put the width at 100%. Actually, I don't have anything here, so maybe we'll just leave that blank, because then that might just fill in with the whatever the user is going to add there. And then so what I have is when you go to mobile, that the portal button or the hamburger button appears. Of course, that makes perfect sense. But then what we're going to do is we're going to take this nav custom menu 2, and I just pulled it out of the flow of this grid here and just gave it a fixed position and give it a specific height as well. And then of course this navigation has a height so that it hugs to the top of the menu here. So if we just preview this, as you go to mobile, the logo just hugs to the left, and then the nav appears. And then we're just going to have to make it so that when you click on this hamburger, the navigation will appear. So that's the best way that I think that I've thought about how to actually do this type of menu, having this 3-column kind of grid thing with the logo in the middle. So if anybody has any better ideas, do let me know. But I think this will work. So, right, I think what we'll start with, I guess we'll just work with, let's get this hamburger thing working. So, and to get this working, so we do already have an interaction. So, and I think what did I do with this now? Let's see what's going on here. Right, so this interaction was copied from the hamburger button. So all we need to do is just update the classes, because this is showing the nav custom menu, and that it's actually going to be the nav custom menu 2. Nav custom 2 menu. See, I can't stand these names. I feel like 2, 3, 4, and I was thinking to have better names, but I don't know what to call these things and how to make them like stand out. Any thoughts? I'm all ears. Nav custom 2 menu. Okay. So we'll save that. And I also want to, we're going to rename this to nav custom 2. Well, not that. There we go. And then rename this one nav custom 2. Okay. Let's just have a look here to see. Oh, wait, something. I think what we need to do, I think this needs to be hidden, right? So we need to hide this and display none, I think. Okay, something else is not working. I think it has to do with the interaction and what it's doing to actually show and hide. Oh, hang on a second. Oh, that's the hamburger. I think it has to do with the actual size of the menu. Kevin, morning. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to the stream. How you doing this morning? And how was your weekend? Get some good running? My wife did some good running, so I'm sure you probably had a good time running as well. You runners, you guys are crazy. Always running. It's so boring for me. I wish I liked running, but I don't. Right, let's have a look here. So what's it doing? The size is going from 0 to auto. Right, so I think it needs to have like a specific height. Interesting. Okay. Feeling great. Ran 6 miles this morning. That's crazy. That's like 8-9 kilometers. That's awesome. Or is it 10? Maybe it's 10. Something like that. No, times 1.6. So 6 times 1.6 is 9.6. Yeah, that's 9.6 kilometers. Yeah, almost 10K. That's awesome. Sorry, I got to go to translate. I spent the whole weekend consuming David Goggins content, and now I'm ready to take on the world. Absolutely. Goggins is like, I don't know if I've talked about him before. I'm sure I've mentioned him, but he's like my favorite. I love that guy. I just like, whenever I'm going for a walk or whatever, listening to his audiobooks, and you're just like, well, I got to just keep going for another 50 kilometers. Otherwise, what's the point? What am I doing here? I love that guy. I love his attitude. I mean, he's crazy. The stuff that he does, but yeah, he's amazing. Yeah, did a lot of cursing at yourself. Yeah, especially if you feel like you're hitting that mental wall or whatever, and then you have that Goggins in there saying like, you're at 40%, 20%. I mean, you still have 80% left in the tank. What are you doing? Yeah, he's crazy. You ever feel like you're not giving enough, just throw on some David Goggins for a couple minutes, and then if that doesn't get you going, I don't know, nothing will. Okay, so yeah, so the navigation is showing and hiding at the specific height. So I think what we need to do, I guess the menu itself, it needs to have a specific height. Does it? Oh, not that menu. Oh yeah, no, this one. But over here, I think, yeah. I don't know if that'll, no, it's still not making it display. What's going on? Oh, I know what's going on. It's, it can't be seen. So let's go to our interaction. So the size is updating, but we also need to, this is on the first click, right? So we need to go to show hide. Or actually undo that. Let's select the menu, add an interaction, and then hide and show. And we need to set the display. What's the display? Let's just put it here for now. There we go. And we don't want to set that as initial state. We want to set it with the previous action. Okay. So there's that. And then when we hide it, this is going to make it slide down. And then we also, then we want to, I guess then we want to hide it, right? It's not an interaction, it's a class. And with previous action. No, not with, after. And display none. Okay, let's just see what we got. Okay, now. Okay, that's not what we want at all. What's going on here? Oh, wait a minute. What the heck is this? This is mouse tap on. Oh, this is totally wrong. This is wrong. This is for the drop down. That's totally wrong. It's the hamburger open and close that I want. What is going on here? No, undo that. Undo that. Delete this. Delete this. Save that. And we need to go this one. All right. So, oh, no. This should be, okay, this is when, right. When you click on the hamburger, no, I'm wrong. Right, when you click on this, this is what this is going to do. Okay, my bad. I thought that this animation here, nav custom 2, was for a drop-down element within the navigation, which I'm totally wrong on. This is actually the animation for when you do click on this, the 3 bars here. So the initial height is 0. Let's just see. Okay, let's change this display back to what it is here. And what happens if we give it a height of 0? Okay, if we give it a height of 0, everything else is still here. We almost need I don't know if this will work. If we throw it, let's just throw this div block here for a second. Nav custom to underscore menu container. And let's change this here. Let's put this to here. That's fixed. Width is 100%. And top 5. Okay. Now, if we make this height 0, and I think if the overflow is hidden, okay, we might be getting somewhere here. We might be. And this thing here, yeah, that's still good. Okay. So now I think when we click on the hamburger, and if this height is auto, right, there we go. Okay, this should work now. I hope. But what we need to do is we just need to change this interaction to the right class. So this class will change to nav custom -2 underscore menu container. And that changed here. Okay, so let's save that. And the show and hide. Again, menu underscore container. Oh, it's not going to do that. Nav custom -2 underscore menu container. All right, save, and let's look. Why? That should have worked. Why did that not work? Only siblings with this class. That's probably why. It's not a sibling. It is a... What is it? Let's just say... Is it a parent? It's not a parent. It's just weird. Just all elements with this class. There's only going to be one. Nav custom. Okay, jeez. Nav custom -2 underscore menu container. Copy that. Save. And go here. Not sibling, all elements with this class. Okay, now let's see. No, still not working? Are you serious? Oh, maybe because the height is set here. Let's see. No, that's not going to matter. Oh, yes, it is going to matter. Okay, so, uh-oh, look at this. Yeah, there's issues when you go from one to the other. That logo just gets smashed up. That's okay, we'll fix that. I'll have to just put some custom code, I think, for that, but that's okay. Okay. So that's open. Yeah, we'll have to get some custom code to fix that, to make sure things fix when you're going from one to the other. But it's working now. Okay. So we have that. And then I think the last thing that we want to make sure we do is we want to bring an actual drop down. And what I mean by that is this drop down element here. Nav custom drop down. So if I copy this and I put this in the menu, there we go. So we want to make sure that this is going to work as well. So we have the drop down, and then let's go to this size. We open the menu, we have the drop down. Okay, so that's still working. Obviously it's not laid out properly, but that's okay as long as it's working, right? All right, excellent. That was easier than I thought it was going to be. Okay. Let me just see what the interaction is with this. Okay, let's rename. Oop. Let's rename this one. Rename this one. The reason why we're renaming all these is so that when I paste this back into the actual pixel pieces, that none of the classes get renamed or any of the styles get renamed. So they all have to be completely unique from each other, which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Until I could figure out a way how to, I mean, basically how, yeah, until we could figure out a way to bring in other components from maybe either different Webflow pages or even another Webflow project, that might be nice. So that way I can keep the components on one completely separate instance of a Webflow like project, and then Pixel Pieces, it's its own thing as well too, because whenever I update Pixel Pieces, I have to be careful to make sure I'm not going to mess around with any of the components, and it just gets a little tricky. So I think there's going to be ways of really making it a whole lot better once we get to version 2. But that's a ways away. Right, yeah, I was thinking about that. Reloom, they have a plugin to stop duplications, but might be only with their elements. Yeah, I was thinking about that, but I feel for now, there's a but. I feel like for now, just going in and renaming all the different, or just having different names for each individual component is kind of the way to go. Unless there's some things that are for sure duplicated, like button, which is pretty straightforward, so I don't mind that. And then also if things get renamed or don't get renamed, then there could be some confusions there as well. So it's, yeah, keeping Webflow projects organized it's a tricky thing, for sure. Okay, so what did I want to look at here? Let's go here first of all. So we have this nav custom 2. There we go, align at center. That centers everything nicely. That looks already pretty good. Because I think the grid is centered. Okay. Oh, I see. Oh, sorry, your but was but because it might only stop duplicating with their own elements. I don't know about that. It would be kind of strange. Unless it looks for like the main like div tag, and it looks for that thing, and then it only looks for classes below. That'd be interesting. I'll look into it though, and I'll see if it makes sense or not. For what I want. Okay. So we basically just need to fix this here. Okay. Which does look interesting. So I think, how should this look like when someone is on mobile? I think what we're going to do is we'll stick to kind of how it looks like here when, let's go small here, I guess, just so we can see. Just have things line up onto the left, the other left, onto the right, as it is here. I think that makes the most sense. So if we do that, let's get you back there. We're going to take nav2 and we're going to align it vertically and then to the left. The right. Man, why am I keep saying opposite? It's because Reloom uses client first, so it stops the duplication of padding large, for example. Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. Because you definitely don't want all that stuff to get duplicated, because it just makes your project be a complete disaster. And even, yeah, when you're copying things with buttons, you know, and it has button 2, button 3 every time you duplicate something, so that is really annoying. That is really annoying. But then what if you have two classes that are the same class name, but then they have different styles associated with it? Like you have one project, project A, which has button, which is, say it's blue. And then project B, it has the same button, same class name, but it's yellow. And then you copy and paste it. How is it going to reconcile the two different CSS styles attached to each one of those elements? I wonder what it's going to do. Okay, so we have this menu, and then we have this links. Actually, what is this padding? Oh, that's this padding here. Okay, that's fine. We can figure that out and what it's supposed to be in a second. But I think, let me go here. Let me go here. And what do I have for the padding here? 0.25. So let's keep that the same. 0.25. Does that look about right? That looks different. That looks off. Maybe because these things have paddings too. Why do these have paddings? Why did I put paddings on these elements? I think I did it so that these would line up. I think that's why I did that. Because if I take these off, let's just take this off for a second. Oh, no. Why do I have that padding there? Let me see these. Navigation basic. Let me just see these other ones. These ones have no padding. Interesting. So I updated this one actually. I updated the font, and I also updated a logo here just to put a different logo over this weekend. So I just kind of started with the navigation stuff this weekend. So that's navigation basic 1, navigation basic 2. This is the same thing. There's no padding there. So let's keep that consistent. And when we go to navigation custom, let's keep this consistent and have no padding. Oh, both. Oh, no, we want them all to have 0. Pressing the wrong key. Alt. There we go. Go down to 0. And navigation custom full drop down. I think. I can't see the full name of the page. Full drop down. Okay. I feel like there's a reason I did this though. So I'm not sure, but I'm not sure what that reason is. Let's just view this. What's going on here? This shouldn't be displayed here. Did I mess something up somehow? What the heck is going on here? This one's fine. Rolando, good morning. You woke up early today. Stream, yeah. And he looks very good. Thank you. Actually, I wake up at 6 a.m. every morning. Or my alarm starts to wake me up at 5:30. I have one of those sun alarm things. So usually it's between 5:30 and 6 o'clock that I wake up, and I just kind of get to work. So no, I've been up for a while, but yeah. But I'm starting the stream early just because I have a client call this afternoon, kind of around the time that I live stream. And then the headlight in my car went off, or like the lights busted or whatever. So I just got to go to the store, pick up another one, and I got to change out my headlight. And I'll probably have to do a little bit of cleaning on it as well too, because I see that the power is a little bit low. Anyways, I'm just really busy this afternoon. So I know I won't have time to stream until like later tonight, and I don't want to do that either. So might as well get it done in the morning, I guess. Not get it done. I love streaming, but yeah. John 1234, hello. Welcome. Good morning. Good to see you. How you doing today? Right. So there's an issue with this navigation custom. What happened here? This is not supposed to be like this. Unless, let's just see if it's here for all of them. Let's go on the actual live site, because that would be bad. Navigation custom full drop down. Let's view it. And oh, it is busted. So, okay, it's actually busted. Okay, so we'll have to fix that. So that's live. That's on the live site. Ah, that sucks. Can you teach how to do working websites in Figma? So I think what you mean by this, correct me if I'm wrong, to do a full prototype website in Figma that basically behaves like a website. So you have all your interactions and all your animations done within Figma. So that way you can basically present it as, hey, click here, this happens, all that kind of stuff. Is that what you're asking? If that is what you're asking, then the answer would be no, because I've never done that before. I haven't built a full high fidelity interactive prototype in Figma before. That being said, I will say that, like I said, I have a couple client calls. I have one today and I have one tomorrow. And it's quite likely that I'm going to have a couple websites that I'm going to need to have to develop. And there's a good chance I might use this as a little bit of a learning / teaching kind of experiment, where I'll see if I can just like live stream the whole process of actually building a client, like a legit, 4 or 5 figure client, like in terms of how much money I'm getting, build out their whole website from start to finish. And maybe that'd be kind of a cool series to do. And if that might be the case, then, maybe doing something like that, maybe doing like a low fidelity Figma, like prototype might be something cool to do. I don't know. That'd be interesting. So yeah, anyways, hopefully that answers that question. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. So yeah. But I do love that. I do love suggestions. And, if there's ever anything that you want me to do, or if you want to keep in touch with what I am going to be doing, I don't know, just figure out a way to just get in touch with me. Just message me here on YouTube or send me an email, odum@pixel.ca, and just keep in touch. And then I could absolutely let you know when I'm planning on doing certain things, and maybe doing things in different formats as well, too, in terms of actually creating more structured, concise actual YouTube videos as opposed to a live stream, because live stream is a little bit, you might have to sift through 20 minutes of me figuring out how to do something to get that 30 seconds of, oh, that's how you do that thing, right? So yeah. Did you not just forget to hide the menu on mobile view in Webflow? Yeah, it's got to be something simple like that, eh? But I had this, yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Because I think, let me just see the interaction on how this thing opens and closes here. So the height goes down to 0. So I think what we need to do, I think the height could be just needs to go to 0, right? That should be all we need to do. And now it's going to 0. And now it's not showing on click. What is going on? Let me just see this one here. Oh, I just want to see. This one's working. Actually, I think maybe this one will be a better indication of what to do. Right, so let's take a look at this thing. I got the wrapper here. The height is set to auto. This one doesn't have a height at all. This one should maybe be set to auto. Does that do it? No, that doesn't do it. Something's going on. Something's going on. Hang on a second. Rolando, could you tell me the episode where you planned or organized how you cataloged the elements to show them on the front end? I want to do the same for mine. I can't think of how to do it. So how I organize and catalog the elements to show on the front end. I think what you're suggesting or what you're asking for is this stuff, right? Like in terms of cataloging it on, I guess in the aside menu, and then how it's cataloged in the database as well. Right, and just another comment. Showing how to lay out a website in Figma is a good course to sell. Yeah, and I think, to be honest, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to sell courses. I think I'm just going to have them for free. So I want to make these courses, and they're all going to be, well, maybe not, yeah, probably for free, and just put it all into Pixel Pieces to kind of drive traffic towards Pixel Pieces. I mean, maybe eventually I'll sell courses. I don't know. There's so many courses out there, and so many people do such really good work. I think for me is if I can put out free content out there, I just want to give out so much value that, you know, even if anything, give out so much value that people feel guilty about getting so much good stuff for free that they'll just like, you know what, I'm just going to buy Pixel Pieces at $250 or $350 or whatever it is, and just keep showing people how to do things. And then I guess using Pixel Pieces is part of it as well too. Okay. So the episode where I planned or organized how you catalog the elements. So I think, let's have a look here. Oh my goodness. This is a little while ago. Let's see. Launching Pixel, building a membership website. I think, was it before? I think it was definitely before the membership stuff. Maybe it wasn't. Figuring out, okay, the cut and paste. That was like one of the last things we did before we moved on. Finalizing design for Pixel Pieces, converting our project to client first, reviewing all components. This is where we started building things. Building the components, building a mega menu. This is navigation. So I think we're around episode 200-ish, sketching out. Putting our first Webflow template, right. Google Ads. Okay, so it was. Okay, don't sell the courses, but you have to monetize them in some way, even if it's with ads and affiliate marketing. No, 100%. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm really just speaking kind of what I'm thinking about right now. So I haven't, even spent the time making one or what have you. And it could very well be that, if it ends up being that I put like 500 hours into developing a course, then it's like, okay, well, maybe I should, sell it for $50 or something like that. I don't know. So just kind of spitballing. Everything is on the table, I guess. It must have been before December because that's when I started following the lives and I'd already done it. Okay, so let's see. So we're in kind of December now. Here's Christmas. Preparing our Webflow component library for launch. Yeah, so I must have already done it then. Right. Oh, no, this is going back. Yeah, around episode 200. So building a team and contact page. Building a full screen menu. Getting closer to launching. Filtering, this is probably it. Filtering Webflow components and templates with FinSuite attributes. This was 2 hours long. It's probably this. Sorry, this might be a little weird here, so let's see what we got. I gotta edit the start and stops of these things.
All right, what's going on, everyone? We are live. Welcome back. Happy
Okay.
Monday. Cool. All right.
Right.
So let's give it a color. What color do we want it to be?
All right. What were we doing here?
I mean, I guess I could make this sticky as well too, and it just covers over. So I mean, I guess you can have it both ways. But
could be. But I'm not going to do that.
Here. We might even have too much space. So when you're logged in, so you see the little results. So
okay, so Rolando, this episode here, 217, was when I think I had already built it, but this is when I actually made the filtering functionable. So I'm trying to see if I go into the database here to see kind of how I set it up. I don't see any. Oh, here we go. Sorry, John, I see your comments here. I'll get to it in just a second. And I'm hanging up. So there's some stuff in here. I think this would be something to check out. Put it on like 2 times speed or something like that and see exactly if this is what you're looking for. But if not this, there might be, that's episode 217. So it might be here where I could have left off. Let's see.
Which is our empty the style, because just a code. I just put this code and then colon and then what it is. So therefore I could probably search, I guess, maybe for code or whatever and find out where all the actual elements are that actually.
So on this this episode 216, this here I could see now, this is just the demo stuff that I had put in, like hero, 15, footer, 2, navigation 4. Like these are just demo, these are not real numbers. So at some point between this episode and the next one is when it was updated. What am I doing here? This is just dashboard stuff. It's somewhere in between here, but I wonder if... Yeah, I must have been talking at some point in terms of in these 2 episodes for sure, I would imagine. I was talking about what my thought process was for how I'm going to filter them out. But that, okay, all this being said, so sorry, I hope that helps. Yeah, 214 to 217. No, it's not a waste of time. It's helping you guys out. This is what I'm here for. Not a waste of time at all. So, or has elements to show them on the front end. I did talk about, there's one thing that I think I want to update how I'm actually filtering out these components. But I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do that. So I'm probably going to talk about that a little bit more and figure out another way to filter out these the components is that there's 3 different types of component, like bigger categories. There's application UI elements. There's brochure / marketing elements, which are your basic, your hero section, your footer, your navigation, all that kind of stuff. And then there's your e-commerce stuff. So it's almost, I want to set them out into those 3 categories and then have the different components underneath them. But I'm not sure exactly, because the application UI versus a marketing piece, like they'll both have navigation elements as an example, but then the one with application UI will have like your login, log out, and your user account and all that kind of stuff. Basically kind of, where's Figma here? Like all these components here, with the notification bells and all that kind of stuff. So they can fit in both of them. So I'm not sure exactly how to categorize them and how to separate those out. So it's something that I'm still thinking about. So if you have any good ideas too that you come up with, do let me know, or we should get together and chat about it to see what the best way is to go about everything. John, should a UI UX designer make a working website for a client? Can you tell me what a UX designer does? Right. Yeah, it's kind of loaded, not a loaded questions. The thing too is, I'll say the term UI and UX designer, like it gets thrown out so much that I'm not even 100% sure what they do and what that job and what that position entails, to be like 100% honest with you. I guess if I'm thinking about it in the terms of building websites, then I would say like a UI, like a user interface designer, is someone that is going to be doing the prototyping and the wireframing and the sketching and understanding concepts of usability, typography, white space, accessibility, and how people interact with different pieces of an application, and how the psychology of a user is on a website. So they're going to be doing all that kind of stuff. And the UI UX, I mean, the line is kind of blurred in terms of, is that user experience? Is that user, like UX is user experience, and what UI is user interface? Like, it's kind of a blur. So, but do they make a working website for a client? I mean, if you just specifically do that, then I would imagine then you don't really know how to code. So you probably wouldn't. You would just be making high fidelity prototypes within Figma that can work just like a website. And then you just pass that on then to the developer or the designer team. So yeah, I mean, that's what I guess what I would say like a UX or UI designer does, is they understand how users interact with websites and interfaces or what have you, and they know how to build websites and design them accordingly. And especially understanding what the business principle is of the website and like why the website needs to exist in the first place, and getting to the user to what it is that you want them to accomplish as quickly as possible. So it's understanding all of those concepts. Yeah, I hope that kind of answers that question. If anybody else has anything else to kind of throw in there to answer John's question, if I maybe left anything out, by all means, throw it in the chat there. Yeah. So yeah, Rolando chiming in here. UX designer focus on making low fidelity prototypes, designs, and user interactions to improve convertibility of the website. Yeah, and yeah, I think that convertibility is kind of going with what I was saying, is what is the business purpose of the website? What is its function? And how do you ensure that the user is going to be able to do that with as little pain as possible, right? And that's the whole purpose of a really good design. So I guess what you're saying is the low fidelity types too. I think it also then it would depend on the actual designer, if they actually do have the creative chops to go from low fidelity to doing high fidelity stuff. And I guess what I'll say with the high fidelity is understanding color theory, understanding typography, understanding even just graphic design, right? So It also depends on how big of a team you're working with. If you're going for a job in a big company, you could definitely specialize. If you're just on a small team or it's just you kind of have to learn a more broad range of skills. So yeah, it's interesting concept. So understand. Good, check. All right. Okay, shit. It's 11:30. Oh, dang it, I have to go. Which sucks. But there was this one stinking problem that are still having here. And it's this thing. Why is this showing up? There's something with it. And I have here. Is it in the interaction? Maybe it's in the... no, it's not in there. It can't be in the interaction. It has the initial height at 0. Nav custom full drop down. Right. That's not the actual menu itself, though. I think I know what the problem is. I think the problem... Yeah. It's just a silly... you see this? See how when I click the drop down, it's opening and closing this menu? And if I click this, open and closing, it's opening and closing the drop down menu. So the interaction is just on the wrong element. So that's all we need to fix, I think. Because, yeah, where's the drop down? Because nav custom full drop down open. Nav custom full. So this is just wrong. It should be nav custom drop down. I just need to make another interaction. I think it just something happened where it got duplicated. And something's messed up. So I'll fix that. You're going to say I'm a pain in the ass, but can I see the HTML structure of the menu? HTML structure of the menu. Is that this menu that you want to see? I think you can see it here. I will say, just to say, because, I'm not happy to show it to you, or I am happy to show it to you. So it's right here. But you can probably go in, if you're on Pixel Pieces now, you can go in and actually just inspect it in here. And then you could also kind of just see the structure. In fact, that'll probably even give you a better idea of kind of the HTML structure. But I think that comment, I don't know if that comment came in before I kind of figured out what's going on, but I know what's going on. It's just the interaction is on the wrong element. I just need to interact on this thing. So that should fix it. So, Kevin, I just did a cold sales on a new restaurant in town, made them a sample homepage, walked in and pitched it, and they really liked it. Brother, that is amazing. That is awesome. That's the kind of grind that sucks. Nobody likes doing that. But the fact that you did that and they liked it is amazing. And what's the follow-up? Are they saying have you sold it to them directly? Or are they have they said they want to go ahead and have you do it? But either way, I mean, that is amazing. And the thing is this is just how crazy it would be to build up an agency. So imagine even if they say no, you're getting good reception and you're also getting practice at actually designing things. So imagine instead of even going face to face, but you just email people, say, hey, here's this kind of sample homepage. What do you like? You get 10%, you get 90% rejection, but 1 out of every 10, somebody kind of says yes. So imagine if every single day you send out 10, 20, well, maybe you have to design them. So you have to send out, 5 or 10 of them. Then after 6 months, you're going to have so many clients. It's going to be unbelievable. So that is amazing. Yeah, never done a sales pitch like that before. So first time, that's awesome. Did you ask them first to meet up, or did you just go in literally cold and say, hey, here's hey, can I speak to the manager? And hey, I'm just a local guy. I'd like to just show you what I think I could do with your website, and what do you think? That's awesome. Yeah, so the two managers over there, and they're going to review with ownership today. I mean, that's awesome. That's awesome. It's actually kind of funny and interesting. The people that I'm doing a project with is like a restaurant group here locally in town. They own like a bunch of restaurants. So that's kind of funny. I just walked in and asked to talk to the manager. They don't have a site. And like, that's perfect. That's like, it's targeting the people that are probably going to need a website. Hey, you guys you literally don't have a website. You know that they're going to want to have one. And you just go up to them and say like, I'm going to see what's going to happen. Show them what I can do and what they can have. And it's just like it almost makes it like a no-brainer decision for them, because they're like, well, I got to look for somebody. Who do I look for? They got to do the research. You just come in and you just solve their problem right off the bat. So that's awesome, man. That is awesome. So John, is this also used to create a website? Yeah, I think you're talking about Webflow. So yes, Webflow is a no-code tool, which allows you to visually design and develop websites without writing code. So it's almost, think of it like kind of like Figma-ish, where you can kind of drag and drop elements and then design websites, and then you can create database and stuff like that. If you're new to this whole design thing and you're wanting to learn how to build websites, there's a lot of people that have talked about Framer, which seems to be more beginner friendly and more oriented towards designing kind of like in Figma, but making actual websites. So you might want to give that tool a try as well. I don't think you can go wrong with either of them. Pool, welcome. I'm not sure what's going on here. I'm not sure what that means, but welcome. You should wrap the nav custom full drop blah 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 class inside a UL and the A elements inside of a list. Yeah, I remember we talked about this before in terms of how to structure the navigations, and I think that makes a lot of sense. To be honest, I just haven't gotten around to it. So I think, yeah, each navigation element should be inside an A, or like a link. So 100% agree with you on that one. I just got to find time to actually do it. Yeah, 100%. Although absolutely agree with the hierarchy. Although I would put it in an unordered list. I don't think I'd put it in a numbered list. I'd put it in a UL as opposed to an OL. What am I thinking? I was going to say something. Oh, right. But there's an issue with when you get to the custom drop-down navigation element, those ones, I don't think I can put it inside of a list. That's the only problem with that. You could if you were hand coding it, but within Webflow, you can't put any div tags or whatever inside a UL list. Unless we could use the special div block now that they have. So maybe you can get away with that. But that's the only problem that I see. So yeah, but duly noted. Anyways, guys, I do apologize. It's just getting going here. I'm just getting warmed up. I feel like I can go all day here because I guess I just love doing the Webflow, I guess much more than I do with Figma. Although I feel like I'm getting better at Figma. Anyways, but I do have to leave right now. So I do apologize about having to cut out, but I'm going to keep working on this later tonight. Keep plugging away in Webflow, and I will fix up all of this stuff, the navigations. Rolando, I don't think I'll get to putting everything in the ULs and all that stuff today, but once everything's done and kind of I have all the navigation elements built, I'll then revise and go see how I could, just make those small improvements, which are going to be, obviously really, really good to do. But yeah, so one last comment here. You could put it inside a div and then put the UL tag and the drop element inside of a list. But then that div is also going to be outside of the main UL, right? So then it's having two of those elements, list elements. And I don't know if that's a great thing to have as well, to have two of those list elements. Because you'd want it in just one, right? The navigation, then UL. I don't want to have navigation UL, some elements, then close that bracket, have a div tag, and then another one. I don't know. Semantically, that's gonna be good. I don't know. We'll have to think about it. Well, I'll have to see. We'll get it there. We'll get everything working as semantically and as accessible as humanly possible as we can. So one thing at a time. All right. So I do appreciate it. Thank you so much for the input. It's absolutely something I got to do. So we'll get it done. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining. And yeah, I don't know. There's nothing else to say. I got to go. I got to run. I got to head out. But I'll see you back here tomorrow when we're going to keep plugging away on Webflow and keep getting things done. All right, guys. I'll let you know how my interviews and my meetings go as well too. So that'll be kind of interesting to see kind of what kind of client work we're going to have in the pipeline as well. So that should be fun. Have a nice day. Will do. Same to you. Good luck. Yeah. Here for everything. Thank you. I really appreciate that. That does mean a lot to me. So thank you so much. All right, guys, take it easy and we'll see you tomorrow.